Hey everyone, so I know I said that I would make a video about my surgery journey that I had at Seduction Cosmetics, and I finally got my tripod and everything set up so that I could make these videos and actually make content for my YouTube channel that I finally am going to get off the ground. It's hard as a mom and a girlfriend and a full-time worker trying to find time for these hobbies. I commend the girls who do, but I'm always busy, so I can't figure out where to find this time. But I'm gonna make time. I hurt my back not too long ago at work, so I kind of been like on bed rest so that I can heal better and learn to take it down a notch and stop doing so much. But anyway, so my surgery was August 25th, 2020. Yeah, last year. So at the end of this month, I'll officially be 6 months post-op, which means that I'll be entering that fluff stage. If ask me personally, I don't know what the difference is, truly, but you can tell the difference, if that makes sense. I feel like because we see our bodies every day, you don't see that phenomenal of a difference because we're always looking for it just to see how much different it's going to look. But everyone who looks at it always is like, oh my God, look at you, like that thing is poking, okay? So I don't regret anything at all. Let's see. So I didn't stay at a recovery home. I got an Airbnb with my best friend and she came down with me, and goodbye. Sorry. Again, trying to do stuff with kids. Anyway, so my best friend came down. We got an Airbnb not too far from the clinic. She drove me back and forth to everything that I needed and took care of me. She was someone that I trusted very well. The recovery homes, to me personally, as I did my research for them, I wasn't 100%, like there wasn't one where I was like super comfortable with. I didn't like the thought of sharing a room with anybody because I'm very particular about myself and the things that I like. So, and then rather than spend an arm and a leg for a private room, well, let's save some coins because first off, the surgery wasn't cheap. Second off, I prefer what I prefer. So it's just a matter of opinion to me, honestly. I did well healing on my own. For people that are so curious about the pain, that's such a great area to ask somebody because all of our pain levels are different. Our tolerances are different. I'm pretty good at taking pain, personally, but I can be a wimp. So when I first woke up from the anesthesia, the immediate feeling that I had was my hips burned. Like my hips were on fire. Like it just felt like somebody was holding a match to the side of my leg. Like it was so hot. Like it just hurt so bad. And then I remember her trying to like slap me over and swing my legs into the wheelchair so she could get me into the car. And then I got in the car and laying on my stomach didn't hurt. That part was all okay. It was just the hips. The hips were hurting. So my best friend, she took me back to the Airbnb. I got in the bed and I lay down. She went and got my prescriptions and stuff for me. She came back. I took my meds. And the meds helped. You know, I was doing that. I was putting the arnica gel on and walking every like hour or so. I was trying to stay hydrated. But for me personally, I didn't feel really well for like the first 3 or 4 days after. I was pretty out of it. Because to my surprise, after talking to other girls on Facebook and getting other people's opinions, it was probably most likely because my blood levels were low. Now, I'm sure you'll see girls who have their garments on who are like soaked with blood and things like that, and it's all different bodies, different surgeries, different reasons why. Me, when I woke up, or yeah, I guess when I woke up, when I got home and looked at myself in the mirror, I wasn't like completely like bloody. And even when I went to sleep in that whole night and the next day I woke up, I was still pretty clean. Like, honestly, I hadn't bled out a lot, so me having a low blood level wasn't really my first thought. But a lot of girls said that it happens after. You might not notice that you lost so much blood, but you do. So with that being said, I picked up on my iron some more. I went back to take my iron pills, and I pretty much like doubled the dose, and I started feeling great. Once I got my iron levels back up, I started feeling better, so I could start walking more, and I wasn't in as much pain. Because with that pain, I was just really dizzy because my blood levels were low, so I just couldn't tolerate anything. I really slept probably like the first 2 days after surgery, and I mean like slept like off and on, like 6 hours at a rip. Stay up for an hour, go back to sleep. Now, I did do my Levonex shots, and I had on my compression socks and things like that. And my best friend always came in and peeked on me to make sure I was okay. She would help me switch positions, or alternate, which angle I was at. Now, for me, the hardest part people say is laying on your stomach. I'm blessed because I sleep on my stomach, so that part isn't too hard for me for the recovery. If anything, I might slightly lay on my like thigh, like at a weird angle. I don't know, I sleep kind of funny, but the sleeping part was okay for me. So I'm blessed on that. Trying to eat the first time without being able to sit was a struggle. I kind of kneeled. I kneeled against the table and ate. Or I turned the chair around. But even though the first like day or two, like the swelling, even just trying to turn around in the chair was like uncomfortable. But I did it, and it was okay. But because I doubled up on the iron medicine, the things people don't talk about is when you have your first like bowel movement. That was hurtful. That was probably one of the worst things, was trying to go to the bathroom. And I mean like hard. I probably was in that bathroom for like 6 hours, on and off, on and off, on and off. Not straining too much, not to cause any like hemorrhoids or anything to myself, but long enough for me to be like, ugh. And then trying to like sit on that pillow and do it and find like the comfort zone, and it was a lot. The constipation was real. Eventually it happened, and then I cut back on the iron so I could stop. But I did take the Dulcolax pills to make it like easier. That didn't help me any, so maybe something else might help someone, but that one didn't do much. That didn't help me with anything. I'm already irregular without surgery or iron pills, so it was already going to be a struggle for me. And when I came home, trying to have like another one was awful. It was so bad. I think like I prayed to God, like, please just let it end. Like, it was just so horrible trying to get that out of you after surgery. So already you have to sit in this awkward position, and then have these bathrooms. So anyway, like I said, so let's go to the surgery part now. I had surgery at Seduction Cosmetics down in I guess it's Miami, Florida, Coral Gables, whatever. Dr. Sampson was my surgeon. I picked him because he did a lot of work on heavier girls, and I'm a heavy girl. I just made his 37 BMI. I was 36. I'm 5'3". And he just seemed to do really well with heavier girl. So after looking through a bunch of surgeons and things like that, I figured that he was going to be a good fit for me as my surgeon. Everybody has their own opinions. We all have different bodies. We all have different shapes. So you make your decisions based off what you feel. Don't let anyone discourage you or change your mind about anything, because one thing social media will do, it will create that what if thought in your head. And I'm not gonna lie, I was there. I questioned it, like maybe I shouldn't go to him, maybe I should pick someone else, this, that, and the third. And then my boyfriend was like, well, why? He was like, you already did your research for months. He was like, and you always show me this guy, you always show me the pictures. And he was like, and you already had your heart set on it. Out of all the guys you could have picked, you already said that you wanted that guy. So why would you change your mind just because of what other people say? And you're right. I did pick him. I picked him out of hundreds of other surgeons that I could have picked. And my heart was like, no, you want him. You want Dr. Sampson. So I said, okay, you know what? You're right. I'm going to stay where I am. And I'm going to be patient. Wait. So, let's see. A lot of people in like the Facebook group had complaints about certain things. So again, this goes back to say, like, we all have our own experiences. I'm not going to discredit anyone who had a bad experience. I was lucky I did not. My coordinator was Mercy, and she always answered the phone for me. She talked to me on Instagram. I always got her direct calls. She always helped me out throughout my whole process. She answered any questions or any doubts that I had. As far as payments, my payments all were fine. I didn't have any trouble making a payment or anything like that. My date was always secured. No issues. They sent me my lab work. I went and got my labs done 2 weeks before my surgery, and that all came out good. But I was realistic, because a lot of people seem to think that you'll get approved just because you're paying for it, and that's not always the case. You really need to make sure that you're healthy before you go and have these big procedures, because it's always a risk. And I've already been under anesthesia 3 times now so far in my life for small surgeries like my appendix and gallbladder and things like that. So I already knew what to expect when it came to that part. But I've also known, like, I never had any major health issues before besides being heavy, but that hasn't affected me too much health-wise. So anyway, so I got all that done. My paperwork was all done. I was cleared maybe like after a week after I got my labs back. Took about a week for that. I didn't have to call and harass anyone for it. When I got down there and I went to pre-op, I didn't have any like crazy wait time. Probably waited like 5-10 minutes, if that, before I think it was Stephanie. Before Stephanie took me back, I did my paperwork and took my pictures and signed my life away. And then I was on call, and she said I would get my time that night after 5 o'clock. I would get a text that would tell me the time of my procedure. So around like 5-ish, not 5 on the dot, but around 5-ish, I get a text, and it said, make sure I arrive at my appointment first thing in the morning. I had a 5 a.m. surgery time. So I got up that morning, went 5 o'clock in the morning, and met with Dr. Sampson, and he marked me up and told me, realistically what he could do for me. And I wasn't going in there with these false these false thoughts, thinking that I'm gonna come out like a Barbie, or I'm gonna come out with this perfect hourglass shape or this perfect booty, because I'm not perfect and my foundation is non-existent. I had no butts. He's starting from square one, literally. So realistically, I knew I wasn't gonna come out looking like my wish pick or like my dream body or things like that. So yes, Marshall. Okay, keep playing, please. Bye. Like my dream body. So we really need to understand that if it's your first surgery, don't go in there with those hopes that you're gonna come out looking like her, because we're all different. You know, she might have had some booty before. She might have not had a stomach. Other girl might have had hourglass shape already. We're all different. It all comes out differently. So I already knew that going in there. So I wasn't expecting to wake up like drop dead gorgeous, even though I'm already gorgeous. But I knew what to look for. So he marked me up when we talked. He was very sincere, very upfront, and I like that about any doctor that I deal with. I don't really like any cut cards. He was very straight to the point. Then they took me back into the operating room. And that part was, it went so quick, I swear. Like, by the time I got in there and I got on that table and they put the IV in my arm, and I mean, like, they were, like, so quick. That guy put the IV in my arm, and I didn't even realize that he was pushing the anesthesia in. And next thing I knew, it was out like a light. And like I said, to me, it felt like 15 minutes. Like, I know you can't feel time, but it only felt like 15 minutes for me to have my surgery and to wake up. And I just remember waking up with that burning sensation in my hips and getting pushed in the wheelchair, not pushed, but put in the wheelchair and then put in the car. And then after that, the next day, my first post-op and my first massage, I had my massage at Seduction. I can't remember the lady's name who did it, but she didn't speak any English. But she was really nice. The massage to me wasn't painful. Some people say their massages are painful, the first couple, but mine wasn't too bad, honestly. I enjoyed it. Honestly, I like any massage. So, but she was really nice to me and was like tender, like, you know, she knew what to do and where to press. Like, it was okay. And the Sampson came in and he looked and they were all like, you know, so you got a booty now, girl. Like, he did good. And I ain't gonna lie, like, Sampson put his foot in my ass, literally. If you follow me on Facebook, or Instagram, you will see my before and after pics, like, are night and day. I had, like, no butts. I had the Hank Hill of butts. And when I show you later what my butt looks like, you're gonna be like, oh, wow. But it was worth it to me. I have no regrets, and I am going back for a round 2 so that I can achieve the body that I want. I just decided to do my first round now, simply just to get that foundation, because a lot of people always say, you know, you get a foundation and then you go back for round 2 for the look. That's how you complete the look. A lot of people think that you get it all done in one shot, and it's not how it works. Most of these celebrities or these people that we idolize, they have multiple surgeries. They go through it like all the time to keep up these appearances. So for me, I just wanted to get the first round done. So when it's time to do my second round, I'll be finished. But my boyfriend, he wants another baby. And when I go back to do my second round BBL, I also want a tummy tuck. Because, you know, mom bellies, they're no fun. And since I was heavier when I had my son, I have a lot of loose skin that even though he did liposuction, my stomach still hangs and it bothers me. So I really want to get it. He said that I could probably do another round of liposuction and it would get flat, but I'd rather just do the tummy tuck and have my muscles repaired at the same time. So that way I can keep up with it myself by doing stuff at home. But like, even doing ab crunches and stuff now, my stomach is stronger. I can feel it, but you can't tell because of the loose skin at the bottom. You just see it jiggle. So that part makes me still a little insecure about it. but the shape he gave me was better than the shape that I had. And my stomach isn't as big. It drips more. My only other negative thing that I really have to say is the scarring. I'm kind of upset because, you know, I am so bright that my scars are pretty bright too. So you can kind of see that I had a BBL. Like if I'm naked, you'll see the scars on my butt, my back. So I probably will get those covered with like a tattoo or whatever, but not until I'm done my second round, because what's the point? I don't want them to put new scars anywhere else that I'll have to hide. So for now, the world will see. I don't give a shit. Trying to think of any other questions that people would ask me. Nope. So with that being said, I will go ahead and show you guys what I came out looking like. Now, also keep in mind that the timing of my surgery was not ideal per se, because I switched careers at the end, literally like a week before surgery. I switched careers, so when I came out of surgery, I got sent to another state for 3 months and had to live at a hotel. So I didn't get to eat like super healthy and help keep the weight off and stuff like that, because I had no choice because of my job. So I did gain about 10 or 15 pounds since surgery that I'm trying to work off now. But quarantine doesn't help either. So anyway, don't mind my Christmas pillows. I haven't changed them. Okay. All right. So this is my butt after surgery. And like I told you, you can see the scars. There's 1 and 2. And so because I am 6 months, it jiggles. I don't have that jiggle that some girls have, but it's getting there. I don't know how much jiggle I'm gonna get on my booty. It's like a little muscle butt. But this is my stomach. And then the scars from my liposuction are actually under here. You can see 1 and 2. That's from my appendix getting taken out, so don't look at that scar. But those 2 little holes are where he did the liposuction. This little beauty came from the tape method that they tell you to do to help, you know, keep your skin tight after liposuction. But I wound up getting a couple little tape burns on my stomach from it, so I stopped doing that. And then that was that. So and my back, it's kind of hard to show because and that's what that looks like. So, in a dress, you can see how the curves go. And then if I put on my faja and stuff like that, you can see more of the hourglass shape, which you can see where it's starting to come in. So when mommy goes back and gets her tummy tuck and this is all gone and they pull it in like that and then, you know, add on to my second round of hips and stuff, I'm gonna have the body that I want. So totally worth it to me. No regrets. I don't have anything bad to say. I just know, you know, it's all about what you want and what you expect, and just being understanding about what you're gonna get. I never, all the girls who talk to me or ask me questions, you know, I'm always upfront and honest. Like, don't go in there wishing on a star, thinking that because you pay for it, you get to pick your outcome. Like, there are still laws and regulations that they have to follow to protect you and to still give you what you want. And a lot of people aren't too understanding of that. But from around here, people asked, am I going back to Sampson? And my answer is no, only because I really want to stay home this time. There's no place like home to heal, honestly. I didn't enjoy the plane ride back home. That was uncomfortable. I probably should have paid and upgraded my seat to like first class to have that extra space, and I wasn't thinking like that. So don't be naive and think like that, because my seat, I flew Spirit for one, because I had credits that I just used. And the seats were so tiny and tight, like literally after surgery, I barely could fit in that seat. My hips were like armrest to armrest, like there was no in between, and it was a packed flight. It was miserable. So like as soon as they would take the seatbelt signs off, I would stand up and like I kneeled on my seat. I was on the aisle seat, and I just like kneeled in my chair, like facing the back of the plane. And I remember telling the lady behind me, like, I'm sorry, don't think that I'm crazy or like being nosy. I said, but you know, I had surgery, so I just need to sit up. And she's like, girl, you're fine, you're okay. You know, I always like to be straightforward, because you don't want people to think you weird, especially in the day we live in nowadays. So I'm always like open. Like, I tell people whatever, like, hey, yeah, I need to do this for whatever reason. And they're all and she laughed, and the kids that were sitting with her were all laughing, and we just talked. And she you know, whoever that lady was, she made me feel better, because I was already like self-conscious about having surgery, and then being on a full plane full of people who now know I had surgery, because you can't hide it. That faja you can't hide, or you can but you can't. I didn't put on pants, so I had on a dress. I think I had on a dress coming home, something like this. But these are pretty much what I wore, these kind of dresses, because they're stretchy, they move around, and they were just comfy and easy to just take on and off. And so people got to see it, and plus I was walking like a zombie, because I still was in discomfort. I wasn't in pain. I was just, you know, uncomfortable, because you're still swollen. Like, you're swollen for like 4 weeks. You're swollen for a while. So you're gonna walk kind of weird at first before that swelling goes down. What else? Oh, the itching. Ooh, the itching is no fun. I took Benadryl. I did the Benadryl cream. I'm pretty sure we've all tried everything that you can think of to stop the itching. Nothing you can do, baby girl. You just gonna be itchy for a few weeks. I think my itching lasted maybe like 3-4 weeks. Miserable. And I mean like miserable. Like your butt itch, your leg itch, like all those nerve endings trying to reconnect itch so bad. I used to be in that bed tearing my legs up. My boyfriend like, is you okay? I'm like, it's the itch. Like, it's so itchy. There's nothing I can do. Be out in public, scratching my butt, not even thinking about thinking twice about it because it itch so much. So see, swelling, itching, and what else? Oh, sex. When did you have sex? When I got home. So 5 days after the surgery, my man didn't give me a chance. He picked us up from the airport. My girlfriend got her car and went home. I came in. He helped me take my clothes off so I could shower and change and get comfy. I got out the shower. He finally got to see, he didn't really get to see my body because trying to take pictures and videos, like I told you, I really wasn't feeling too great when I was staying there. So I didn't really get to show him what I looked like. So he pretty much just waited till I got home. And when I got home and I got out the shower, and he looked at me and he was like, oh, you got butt. Like, you big booty. So instantly he was like, test drive. So we had sex. Pretty much doggy position, because it's like the only thing you can really do is just get on your knees and take it. My only thing I told him to do was, can't be rough, no slapping and all that stuff, because I'm sore and I'm swollen. I don't need anything extra hurting. And watch your hands, because he likes to put his hands on my back or in the arch, and you have those I didn't show you guys, but there are scars on my back also from the liposuction. So he would accidentally hit the scars or put his fingers like right on the scar, and that would hurt. That would send like a little burning, like a little tinge, not like cringe. But once he figured out where to put his hands at, it was okay. You know, it wasn't bad. Felt great. So if you want some, get you some. You don't gotta wait. Sampson said you ain't gotta wait. I think Sampson told me a week, 2. He really said it's up to you. It's up to your pain tolerance, what you can take. Just don't put no pressure on your butt. So make it work how you want to work. Let me think. Any other questions that people were asking me? Nope, none that I can think of. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my video. If you have other questions, you can always feel free to message me. Yeah, so that's my take on it. Whenever I go back for my round 2 of my tummy tuck, you guys will know. I'm hoping to have my baby here in the next few months, or to get pregnant with my baby here in the next few months. We have to go through IVF for our baby, so I get to plan when to have my kid, which is nice, because you never get to truly plan for it. It just happens. But this way we can plan. Like, I get to pick the month I decide I want to go get pregnant. So then carry the baby for 9 months, and then schedule my round 2. That I'm excited for, because he wants another baby and he deserves it. So I'm gonna give him another baby. But then mommy's gonna finish doing what she wants to do for herself. And I'm excited. So you guys take care. Thanks for watching.